The human experience, as understood through the lens of consciousness, is not merely a passage through time in a physical world. It is a complex, multi-dimensional journey. Talk about one that intertwines the physical, the psychological, and the metaphysical realms. It is a journey where human beings oscillate between their finite physical existence and their inherent connection to an infinite, interconnected consciousness that transcends all limits. Now, comprehending the full breadth of this experience requires a holistic perspective, one that acknowledges the fluid nature of reality, the active role of consciousness in shaping our world, and the transformative power of spiritual awakening. In this discourse, I'm going to explore the human experience by dissecting seven core elements. I will talk about the nature of reality and consciousness. I will talk about the role of an individual in shaping reality. We're going to talk about archetypes and universal symbols, the journey of spiritual awakening. We're going to talk about synchronicity and divine alignment. We'll talk about humanity's role in the larger cosmic order. And finally, we'll talk about the ultimate realization of oneness with the divine. Through these elements, we uncover how humanity's quest for self realization and spiritual fulfillment is not an individual endeavor, but a collective movement towards unity in higher consciousness and transcendence. So, at the heart of the human experience lies the profound truth that reality is not a fixed objective structure. Reality is, in fact, malleable, shaped by the mind and molded by consciousness. The material world that we perceive through our senses is but a fraction of a larger multidimensional existence that encompasses deeper layers of consciousness. See, this understanding it shifts the way that we engage with life and our surroundings. For if reality is shaped by consciousness, then humans are both observers and co-creators of the world. Consciousness operates on multiple dimensions, and what we experience as physical reality is just one facet of a greater interconnected whole. See, beneath the surface of everyday life, there exist deeper levels of reality that interact with the individual psyche and the collective mind. The thoughts we hold, our emotions, and the beliefs that we nurture, they all contribute to the shaping of reality. This concept is not limited to some philosophical musings. It is actually lived through truth that we can observe and influence. For instance, when we align our internal state, our thoughts, emotions, and intentions with positive energy and higher consciousness, we observe corresponding shifts in the external world. The energy that we project influences the reality that we experience. Now, this interconnectedness that between the internal and the external suggests that reality is a reflection of consciousness. It means that through conscious awareness, that you and I both have the power, real power, to create, alter, and experience the world in alignment with our highest intention. This understanding also highlights the multidimensional nature of existence. While we inhabit the physical realm, there are other layers of existence. I'm talking about the mental layers, the emotional layers, the spiritual layers, and all of these influence our lived experience. See, by expanding our consciousness beyond the physical world, we will gain access to these deeper layers, allowing for a fuller, richer experience of this life. The human experience is not a passive one. Humans are not mere bystanders in a universe that unfolds without our input. On the contrary, each individual consciousness actively participates in creating both our personal and collective experiences. The thoughts we think, the images we visualize, the emotions we hold, all of these contribute to the shaping of our reality. This creative potential is evident in the way that our inner world influences our outer environment. Our psyche is composed of emotions, dreams, archetypes, and unconscious drives, and all of this acts as a blueprint for the reality that we manifest. See, this connection between the internal state and the external world reveals that reality is in many ways a mirror reflecting the state of the individual mind and the collective unconscious. Through imagination, desires, and intentional focus, humans can shape their reality in tangible ways. What we focus on grows. The more that we concentrate on positive, life affirming thoughts and actions, the more we attract those experiences into our lives. And conversely, when we dwell on the negativity, fear, or doubt, we draw those experiences into our reality as well. The individual is not helpless in the face of external circumstances. Rather, we have the power to shape our circumstances by altering our internal landscape. And this role as co creators of reality extends beyond the individual experience. When many individuals hold similar intentions, desires, or beliefs, their collective consciousness creates a shared reality. This is why societal beliefs, cultural norms, and collective fears can manifest on a global scale. However, by becoming conscious of this dynamic, individuals can begin to shift not only their personal realities, but also contribute to the positive evolution of the collective experience. Archetypes are universal symbols embedded deep within the human psyche. These patterns, they transcend culture, time, and geography, and they are woven into the fabric of human experience. The hero, the sage, the shadow, the mother, these archetypal figures exist in myths, religions, literature, and dreams across all cultures. They represent the fundamental aspects of the human condition and serve as guiding forces in the journey of self discovery and our transformation. Engaging with these archetypes allows individuals to access deeper truths about their existence. When we recognize these patterns in our own lives, we understand that personal struggles, growth, and transformation are part of a larger universal narrative. For example, the archetype of the hero represents the journey of overcoming adversity and achieving personal or spiritual victory. The shadow, on the other hand, represents the darker, often repressed aspects of ourselves that we must confront and integrate to achieve wholeness. By understanding these archetypal forces, individuals can navigate their inner world more effectively. See, archetypes, they act as mirrors reflecting the inner dynamics of the psyche. And by engaging with them consciously, individuals can initiate these profound personal growth cycles and transformation. This is particularly true during moments of crisis or significant change, when archetypal forces often emerge to guide individuals through periods of transition. Moreover, these archetypal patterns connect individuals to the larger spiritual dimensions of life. They remind us that our personal journey is not isolated, but a part of the collective universal experience. In this way, archetypes bridge the gap between the individual and the collective, between the personal and the cosmic. Now, at the heart of the human experience is the quest for self realization and spiritual awakening. This journey is both a psychological and spiritual process that involves recognizing the individual's connection to higher consciousness and transcending the limitations of the material world. It is a journey of awakening to one's true nature, a process of moving from fragmentation and separation to unity and wholeness. Spiritual awakening often follows the path of individuation where the individual aligns their conscious self with the deeper unconscious forces within them. This process of individuation is not about becoming someone new. It's more about becoming fully who we are and who we were created to be, and integrating all aspects of ourselves, including the parts that we may have previously rejected or disowned. As individuals embark on this journey, they begin to see the world through a new lens, and then they recognize the interconnectedness of all things, the unity between the material and the spiritual, the inner and the outer. This shift in perception, it brings about a harmonious union between the physical and the transcendent nature of consciousness. The journey of spiritual awakening is not a linear path. It involves cycles of growth, transformation, and integration. It requires individuals to confront their shadows, embrace their inner power, and align with higher consciousness. This process leads to a greater sense of inner peace, purpose, and fulfillment as these individuals awaken to their true nature and their role as co creators of reality. Synchronicity or meaningful coincidences, they serve as a marker of alignment between the individual's inner state and the external world. See, these events, they're not random. Rather, they are signs that the universe is responding to the individual's consciousness, reflecting a deep interconnectedness between all things. Synchronicities often occur during moments of spiritual awakening or heightened awareness. See, signaling that the individual is not just in alignment in their consciousness, but they're also in alignment with the flow of the universal consciousness. When individuals live in accordance with universal principles, such as the law of correspondence, cause and effect, and mentalism, they experience these synchronicities that guide their path and validate their spiritual progress. These principles are not abstract concepts. They are the laws that govern the flow of energy and consciousness in the universe. By aligning with these principles, individuals can attune themselves to the natural flow of the universe, experiencing both personal and spiritual evolution. Synchronicities reveal that the universe is not separate from us, it is a reflection of our inner state. As we align with higher consciousness, we begin to see signs and synchronicities that guide us on our spiritual journey. These events act as markers of divine alignment, showing us that we are on the right path and encouraging us to continue moving forward. The human experience is not isolated, it is part of a larger cosmic order. Humans are both finite beings with personal histories and desires and eternal expressions of the greater divine consciousness. And this duality enables us to act as bridges between the material and the spiritual, the personal and the collective. As co creators within this cosmic order, humans have a responsibility to evolve their consciousness by contributing not just to their personal growth, but to the collective ascension of all of humanity. The evolution of individual consciousness is directly linked to the evolution of the collective. As more individuals awaken to their true nature, they will contribute to the raising of collective consciousness, leading to a more harmonious, enlightened world. This role within the cosmic order is not passive, it requires active engagement with the process of spiritual growth and transformation. Individuals must take responsibility for their thoughts, emotions, and actions, recognizing that they are co creators of their reality and contributors to the collective experience. The ultimate goal of the human experience is the recognition of oneness with the divine. Talking about John chapter 17, verses 20 through 22. See, this involves transcending ego based separateness and merging with the higher consciousness that underlies all existence. Through this realization, individuals understand that they are both creators and participants in the unfolding of reality. This realization brings about a profound sense of unity, peace, and fulfillment. It is the culmination of the spiritual journey. This is where individuals move from fragmentation and separation into unity and transcendence. By integrating the psychological, spiritual, and physical realities of existence, humans evolve towards their highest potential as co creators of a multidimensional universe. The human experience is a journey of awakening, one that invites us to explore the nature of reality, consciousness, and our role as co creators of the universe. Through this journey, we move from fragmentation to unity, from limitation to transcendence. By engaging with universal principles, archetypes, and deeper layers of consciousness, we realize our true nature as both finite individuals and expressions of the infinite consciousness. Ultimately, the human experience is about recognizing our oneness with the divine and our role in shaping the world around us. Look, if you want to go deeper into this, check the link in my bio, take one of the assessments, schedule the complimentary call, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.
I
Peace.
am the bridge between mastery and mystic. Energy electric, divine realistic. Liberating others by living a line. Teaching through my essence, no need to define. Presence, discernment, clarity the key. Truth in my vessel, I set spirits free. Transformation flowing, pure divine. Every bar a mirror of the high design. I walk that line between heaven and earth. Seen and unseen in a cosmic muscle.